Now, turning to Bill's chart, I did the same thing with his. I looked up that Herman character, and I looked up the three variations on Susan. And the one that really struck me was Susan Victoria, where it does have the full name, but with Victoria afterwards connected. And because natally Bill has that at 22 Aries 27, exactly on his seventh house cusp, like marrying a Susan. And I thought that was pretty fun. And it's progressed for, this is all for next April, at to 6 Taurus 50. So you can play with those. The other variations are Susanna was natally at 11 Cancer 16, and it's progressed to 29 Cancer 47, and Susie was natally 21 Aquarius 58 retrograding, and it's now back, or will be in April, back to 12 Aquarius 5 retrograding. So you can put them all in and see if they say anything to you. I think I gave you Herman already for Bill at natal at 0 Virgo 43, and progressed it will be at 26 Virgo 32. And so I put the death asteroids in Bill's chart too, I think. And they, see, maybe I didn't put those in. I've got so many charts here, I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, mostly in Bill's, I was looking at the Arizona stuff. And I put some of those in Stephanie's too, but you've got those in the set I gave you. There's an asteroid for Flagstaff, an asteroid for Tucson, and an asteroid for Arizona, the state. And those are the only three that I have, I think. And it struck me, it was really seemed to me quite significant. Let me briefly go back to Stephanie's chart. I've got the thing that really struck me is that right now, as we were talking when you were here Sunday, her Arizona midheaven, set up for either Tucson or Sedona, was on her natal position for Arizona. Like, again, this shows it's a state of mind. You're not in Arizona now, but when the subject came up, and when we looked at the asteroid in Bill's chart, here Stephanie's chart had her Arizona midheaven set up for Sedona or Tucson. I did both, as you saw, because I sent those charts to you. Right on her natal Arizona, 26 Aries. And her asteroid Tucson natally is on her north node of the moon, and that's also her natal from her birthplace anti-vertex, which is an angle, which is being on the ascendant. So it's like she had Tucson on her ascendant when she was born at home. So that struck me as really neat. And then to cap the climax, her asteroid Flagstaff was 19 Aries natally, and her midheaven in California, Long Beach, is currently at 19 Aries. So when we were talking about this, her Long Beach midheaven was on her natal Flagstaff. Her Arizona midheavens were on Arizona, and then she had the natal angle, the anti-vertex and the node of the moon, both on Flagstaff. So talk about a world where you can't, on Tucson, you can't get away from the order. Everywhere you look at it, you still see that same order. But to have three angles of her chart in those different locations on those three asteroids named for Arizona and two cities in it, what kind of statistical significance is that for, again, a state of mind, whether or not she ever moves there? Now, turning back to Bill's chart, as we noted when you were here, his natal Arizona was on his natal moon, and his progressed Arizona right now is crossing his fourth house cusp in his natal chart. That's from his birthplace in New York. And natal Angelina for Los Angeles was also on that natal midheaven when he was born. So his chart is saying, oh yeah, we're connecting you, at least mentally, whether you ever move there, mentally you are connected to Los Angeles and Arizona. Oh, let's see if I can find some of the other ones. His Tucson is the asteroid is a 22 Pisces, and it was direct at birth, but it's turned retrograde, so it's back now, still conjunct his natal position, just under 22 Pisces. Then this is for next April, but it's moving slowly, so it's there already. And an asteroid La Paz for peace is also there at 22 Pisces, which looks pretty nice, actually. And the progressed position is trining his natal anti-vertex from New York. So that's like an ascendant, like being at peace there. It's also quincunx, the natal ascendant, at 22 Libra. So that's a separation aspect. So he didn't go to Tucson yet, but he might in time. And let's see, where's Flagstaff? I thought I had Flagstaff here somewhere. Flagstaff, where are you? Lost it. Well, maybe I didn't find that. Anyway, among the other asteroids that he would have in Arizona, Aletheia is on the midheaven. And that fascinated me because that's the goddess of truth. That's why I made that statement in the front of the book I sent you, the Book of Saturn, that we're fellow questers looking for truth, the goddess of truth. And Tucson is a place, and also Sedona, it's there for both. Arizona is where you could go continue that search for truth. And Atlantis is on your midheaven, your anti-vertex there in Arizona. And America is on the east point, and Richter and Virginia are on the ascendant. I don't know how Virginia gets in there, you'll have a contact with Virginia, but that struck me again as just funny, really funny, because I just got a letter while I was in the process of working with your charts and putting these asteroids in. I got a letter from someone in Virginia with all this Scallion prediction stuff again. Scallion has got a new book out, and he's saying that 98 is going to be the year, starting in December 97. This is going to be the year when everything falls apart, everything happens, and a new series of visions, urgent information, major Earth changes will begin December 97, continue through 98. So he's cried wolf a few times too many, but the funny thing is that stuff was sent to me along with supposed channeling from an angel about how everything's being stepped up and everybody's being pushed to climb the wall, and if you have inner guidance, you'll climb the wall successfully. And that all came from somebody whose name is vaguely familiar, but I don't remember him, who lives in Virginia. And so then I am working with Bill's chart and finding the asteroid Virginia on his ascendant in Arizona. And on his natal descendant, he's got Tara, which is the I think they call her the white female Buddhist. She's a spiritual leader, the most spiritual female goddess in that particular tradition. And Karma is up there squaring. And so there's a variety of interesting things. This is the natal chart for Syracuse, New York. Tara on the descendant, Karma square, and Libitina rising on the ascendant. And the north node of Chiron is on the ascendant. And that's like having Chiron there. The nodes carry the same meaning. Everything has nodes, not just the moon. And I noticed several interesting nodes in Bill's chart. Let's see if I can find any of the others. Yes, the south node of Mars is on his natal Mars, and the north node of Jupiter is on the natal Sun, and the south node of Jupiter is opposite the Sun. Now this is like having Mars, Jupiter, Sun, all that fire stuff connected. No wonder you were hyper when you were young. It's like never sit still, go, 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 go. And it can be any kind of going. It can be positive or painful. Only mostly things get painful if we just overdo, if we do too much, or if we do when it's inappropriate, when it's not the time to be doing that. But that quest for spiritual knowledge and the personal investment in it is so strong, with Mars and its node together in the 12th house, Pisces house, Sun and the node of Jupiter, and aspected by the other node of Jupiter in the Sagittarius house, Jupiter's own house. So you are a spiritual seeker, and the nodes just repeat the message. Let's see, the south node of Mars also was in their trining natal Mars from 9 Gemini. And those nodes are all in the material I gave you, the tabular pages, as I call them, which I have gave you both the natal and the progressed. The nodes are down at the bottom, so all the planetary nodes are there. And so it's Mars, Jupiter, Sun, really, and aspecting each other. Really intense fire emphasis there in the chart, but connected to knowledge, air signs, partly, and Jupiter, South Jupiter in the air house, and the 9th house. Now, another one of the interesting combinations is on your Neptune, partly natal and partly progressed, Winchester, the asteroid I associate with guns, California, and Fortuna. Now, the Fortuna suggests that it's not a threat to you personally, and of course there's the sextile of Pluto too, from Fortuna, and that's progressed Pluto that stays in a sextile there. No, it's natal Pluto, that just missed, but close. And the thought that hit me as I started remembering all of those episodes in the post offices where some crazy employee of the post office had a grudge against the boss and shot people and then themselves. That happened at least, I think, 3 times in the country. One of them was in California, some others in the East Coast. I don't remember any of the details at this point, and I just wondered whether this thing next April, this period, might be another post office episode connected to your work and your boss in some way. And that's just a wild thought out of the blue and may have no relationship to reality, because again, this is a psychological picture we're looking at, our state of mind and not necessarily events. And so you might anyway look around your fellow workers and see if there's any of them that need psychological help, that are going around carrying grudges and need a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of positive stroking, reassurance that things are going to work out and they'll be okay. And so that's it, I guess, for the moment. And I'm sending you an article that I managed to scan, and it's not